Hello and welcome to Lizzie's Food Fitness. My name is Lizzie. I'm a Kiwi who lives in South Australia and I love healthy food. I've created this channel so I can show you how to easily make meals between 400 and 600 calories that still taste good. So today we're going to be making baked salmon with a sweet potato, spinach and orange salad. So the first thing that you need to do is get your chopping board and your knife. You need a damp cloth under your chopping board so that it doesn't move around. Then you need your sweet potato. I've already peeled it because that, to be honest, that's pretty boring to watch. So what you do is you chop it in half so you have a flat surface to work with so it doesn't roll around. Then what we need to do is chop side off, and then I'm going to use that as a flat side, and then I'm just going to chop it into slices. I'm going about a centimetre thick, that way it doesn't take too long to cook and too long to cool down once you've made it, because you obviously don't want to make your salad while the sweet potato is hot. So to have better control of your knife, I hold it between my two fingers here and then wrap the rest of my fingers down like that. That gives me very good control over my knife, and that's one of the big things that I correct people on when they're trying to chop things in front of me, because I get pretty, I don't know, worried they're going to chop their fingers off. So I'm just going to pop my sweet potato into my dish. I haven't put any oil or anything like that on it yet. I'm not going to put much oil on it because this golden sweet potato does create a little bit of oil. It lets go a little bit of its own oil, so you don't necessarily have to. And we're going to coat it with a little bit of honey while it's still hot, so it does create that moist coating on it. Okay, so I've gone and diced my sweet potato, and it doesn't really matter how big you do them. I do them quite small because it doesn't take a lot of time. Doesn't take a lot of time to cook it, and it doesn't take as long to cool it down afterwards either. So don't worry if you don't have all your pieces all the same size. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to put the smallest amount of oil on it. So I'm going to say maybe, let's say that would have been about 3 tablespoons. Just mix it through. It's just enough to coat it, if that, because it is going to release its own oils when you cook it anyway. Okay, now we need some salt and pepper. And some salt. I don't go too heavily with this because I can always add more later, so I don't worry too much about it. Give it a little shake and pop it in the oven. Okay, now for our salad, we've got our spinach, honey and orange. So the honey, I'm going to melt it a little bit if I need to, because I've got clover honey here. You can use any kind of honey you want. Is going to mix with the juices that have come out of the sweet potato to create a dressing that will work for the salad, as well as the juice that comes from the orange. So to start with, what I'm going to do is peel my orange. So that's very easy. Just chop and tail it, go like that, and just go down. Now, chopping my orange, I want to cut it into slices because I'm going to dice it. So down one, I go to the side of the center, just there, because I want to cut the whole middle bit out of one piece and not have to worry about it. So I just go to the side of that. Nice and juicy orange. Right. Doesn't matter if you have a little bit of the white stuff. I don't mind the white stuff. It's all good. just rough dicing it. Okay, so I pulled my sweet potato out of the oven earlier and I just put it in the freezer just to cool it down. Now the pieces they can hold a little bit of squish and then they just kind of break apart. They've got no hardness to them and that's what you want. So they're still quite solid but they're not quite at that mash stage. Now I've got 2 teaspoons of honey here that I've just melted in the microwave. So I'm just going to drizzle this over. And I won't need all of it, so I probably only needed about 1 teaspoon actually. Now I'm just going to mix that through. Okay, so our recipe calls for 1 cup of sweet potato, 2 cups of spinach, and 1/4 of an orange. So first we'll do our 2 cups of spinach. So I would use a cup measure at first, but I've got my handful and we'll go one cup. Yeah, really easy. And then we'll do our 2nd cup. We'll call that our 2nd cup. Okay, so that's what 1 serving of spinach would look like, 2 cups of spinach. Now we'll do our sweet potato. So we'll just do one cup of sweet potato. So you can see that there is actually in one sweet potato, there are 4 servings. So we'll just pop that in there. And we'll do 1/4 of our orange. This is a nice big salad. So now I just give that a little bit of a toss through. Not too much because when you put it on the plate you don't want all the bits to go to the bottom. So what I want to do is do that. Now the spinach will actually be coated with the honey and the orange and the juice from the sweet potato, so you don't need to worry about putting any more juice on it. Don't worry about me making a mess. I said I could cook, I never said I could do it without making a mess. If any of my old bosses are watching this, they'll be laughing at me right now. Okay, so because I want to have this for later on in the week, what I want to do is add the orange to the sweet potato and mix that around. Now I'm going to put this into 3 separate containers so that I can put that in the fridge or the freezer so that I can have that for lunch. So these containers are fantastic. You can get them from any place that supplies the hospitality industry. I got these from Northland. They cost me, for 100 of them, they cost me about $20 to $25. So that's absolutely fantastic. Make sure that they are freezer proof because otherwise when you open it you're going to have shards of plastic that go into your food, which is not ideal. And they should also be microwave proof as well. So I'm just going to pop these into the fridge so I can eat them later in the week. Okay, so I've had a lot of you ask me about salmon. So here I have 140 grams of salmon. It's skinless and it's boneless. And then I have my baking dish and I've got some non-stick paper. All I'm going to do is just pop it in there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on it. And because it's an oily fish, I'm not going to put any oil on it because it doesn't need it. It's going to do that itself. And because you've got the non-stick paper, that makes it really easy to just pull out. So I'm going to pop that in the oven. I've just pulled my salmon out of the oven. The way to tell if salmon is cooked is you just press on it lightly, and if it does that, or if it looks like it wants to fall apart. Now on my side, I don't know if you can see this or not, I'll pull it out. So can you see there how it just wants to fall apart, wants to come apart there? That means that my salmon is ready. All I have to do now is put my salmon on my plate. And that is that meal done. So that meal is just shy of 500 calories. So it leaves room for you to put a couple of extra veggies on if that's what you want to do, maybe a little bit of steamed broccoli or something like that.